All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for another live stream. It's going to be interesting to talk about the latest developments. Obviously, there's a lot of hype around Denis Zakaria. What a story this has turned out to be. I mean, do you know what? I think this is a lesson in life, isn't it? Like when you expect less, when you don't have too much expectation, you open yourselves up for a surprise. Do you know what I mean? Many of us, didn't know what was going on with Denis Zakaria, whether he's going to feature for Chelsea Football Club or not. And surely enough, he gets an opportunity to start against Dinamo Zagreb, and wow, what a performance. I mean, look, albeit it was Dinamo Zagreb, but you still need to do the job. Shubha saying, nice stream, miss. Thank you, man. Thank you. I had to freshen up a little bit, man. I had to freshen up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I was very, very pleased with the way Denis Zakaria actually played in that midfield. Exactly what you need. Like, that's the profile like you need in that middle center midfield, defensively strong, physically a particular, you know, being. Do you know what I mean? Physically, a bit of a specimen in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was good to see the kind of tackles that he was making, proper sort of central midfield, defensive midfield, if you want to call it. I don't necessarily think Zakaria is like a Casemiro or let's say even John Obi Mikel those days. Like I don't think he's a classical. I don't think he's a classical defensive midfielder. I think he's quite capable of pushing forward, and I think that goal kind of suggests that he's able to do that. Why you remove me as moderator, Suthasan? Sorry, man. I removed a whole heap of people as a moderator because there were a few people that were looking to block certain people. So I'll put you back on as a moderator now, man. This is nothing against anyone. I haven't seen you in a while as well, Suthasan. So good to see you, man. You're back being a moderator. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you're coming through, smash the like button. That's very, very important. Nearly 40 of you guys are live already. Smash the like button, get those likes up as we're going through. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about that Denis Zakaria performance? Because for me, that was nice. That was decent. That was more than decent, actually. And I think Jorginho felt very, very calm as well, having someone like Zakaria next to him. Generally he would have either a Kovacic or a Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Maybe with the ball it was okay, but off the ball, Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, they're not the greatest when it comes to defending off the ball, and that goes for Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic as well by having Jorginho next to them. So someone like Denis Zakaria seems to complement any of those individuals. Maybe not all of them. I think definitely Jorginho. The fact that he was playing deep. Now, can Denis Zakaria perhaps play as the deepest midfielder and be very disciplined and play the role like the likes of Casemiro and some would like to say, let's say, Declan Rice for England? Can he do that? He seems like he's naturally at times does want to sort of bomb up. Do you know what I mean? He does want to sort of move forward. And that's fine. I really like that attribute. I like the fact that that goal, the winner that Denis Zakaria scored, it was him taking that, he was gambling that the ball will probably fall in that area and he'll get that opportunity to shoot. So I want to hear from you guys. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about Denis Zakaria, whether you'd want to, perhaps use him for Arsenal, because post-match, and we'll talk about what he said. Hey, Marsha, thank you so much for the super chat. Liton Dust scared me for a sec, but we got the W. Man, I don't want to talk about it, man. That match was tough, man. I felt like everything went against us. We had you guys. We had India for a second. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Okay, so we've got something here from Shubra. Let's share this with you guys. Okay, so all right, so this is what the latest is, apparently, in regards to Denis Zakaria. I think I saw this from Nizar Kinsella. Denis Zakaria will now reportedly stay at Chelsea this season amidst rumors of a loan termination. Juventus apparently don't want him back, and there are even reports that he wouldn't be able to play for them again this season anyway. Okay, so a couple of things I heard. I heard that if we used him, obviously we've already used him, that he doesn't get to go to another loan. So he can definitely go back to Juventus, but he doesn't get to get another loan in January to go somewhere else. That might be a Serie A sort of rule, I don't know. But I've seen players in not in the Premier League, but definitely in the Championship. I remember Conor Gallagher was playing for Charlton, then he went to Swansea in the same season on a loan. So maybe in the Serie A you can't do that. But now that we've used him, he's definitely not going to be featuring for any other clubs. He won't be able to get another loan, and looks like we're not going to send him back anyway. So look, I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think. Definitely think it was a good performance, and I definitely think there's a value for having someone like Denis Zakaria. He's someone who's different to our midfielders. Like, I think he's got certain attributes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but the one thing that he has over Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the defensive qualities. This is what I said. Some of the combinations that we play in midfield seem a bit unbalanced, but I think someone like Denis Zakaria kind of balances that out. But as I said, it is Dinamo Zagreb, ladies and gentlemen. It is Dinamo Zagreb, so we just need to take it game at a time. I want to ask you guys, would you use him for Arsenal? And I want to hear from you guys what you think about Denis Zakaria. Let's have a look now. I think Arsenal will destroy us, bro. Hope I'm wrong. Look, I hope I'm wrong as well, man. We'll talk about Arsenal very, very soon. It does scare me. I mean, Azpilicueta has to play. Azpilicueta was gassing after 20 minutes, man. That's pretty mad. Because I'm scared of Arsenal, to be honest. They are brilliant. We have to be at our best to even get a draw. Yeah, they are playing some sensational football. There's no doubts about that. Denis is going to be key part for Chelsea this season, finally getting minutes. I hope he can continue like this. I hope he doesn't get injured. There was rumors about him potentially not being fit. Looks like he is fit. Obviously, he hasn't played at all. That was his first match for Chelsea, and that was his first match for a long time. And he sort of cramped up later on and got substituted out. But the good thing is he came out post-match saying nothing's wrong with him. He's ready for his next challenge. He's ready for his next mission, and he's not injured, which was good to hear. I think he's put on a bit of a performance to put his hand up for the Arsenal game. I really do. We need some sort of protection for the CBs, protection for the midfielders with a, physical being like Denis Zakaria. He's big, he's strong, he's tall, he's mobile, he's good with his tackling. So we need. I feel like that kind of a profile could be necessary. Hope the J5 and Zakaria combo will be the same as Pirlo Gattuso when playing for Milan and winning. There you go. I mean, is that the combination you like, ladies and gentlemen? Because I really did enjoy that combination between Jorginho and Zakaria. And I'm just thinking, someone like Zakaria and Ruben Loftus-Cheek probably wouldn't work out. It's a bit too much of the same. Zakaria and Kovacic, maybe it can work out, but you need someone like Zakaria to be a bit more disciplined, or maybe you need someone like Kovacic in tandem with Zakaria to sort of take turns who's going to sit back, because both probably have the tendency to move forward. Definitely Kovacic has the tendency to move forward, and you want Kovacic to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I think Jorginho and Denis Zakaria is probably a good combination. Jovicic for Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind that one bit. I know Kovacic and Jorginho have done the bits um, when they've played together. I'm just a bit concerned with this Arsenal team. They look very strong everywhere. They look strong up front. They look strong in the middle. They're definitely strong in the back. Yeah, I'm just a bit concerned that I hope we don't get outnumbered in the middle with someone like Kovacic and Jorginho and the kind of pace they have. And also in midfield, they love to overload with the likes of, Zinchenko coming in there. I know recently it's not Zinchenko, but I'm sure they'll put someone else there. Xhaka has been playing really well. Thomas Partey's been very, very good. And then someone like Odegaard sometimes drops in. Gabriel Jesus drops in. I just don't want them to dominate us in midfield, man. I just get the feeling they might just be able to do that. Absolutely, Miz. Jorginho is much more free when playing with Zakaria. He can play without fear. Yeah, I mean, it's not just Jorginho. It's even the CBs. They were getting good cover with someone like Zakaria. So it's actually quite interesting to note that someone of Zakaria's characteristic can help out so many other players in the team. Let's give a tribute to TT. Zakaria wingback versus Arsenal. Nah, please. No. Zakaria was good, but obviously it's Zagreb. His off the ball was impressive. If you studied him, he will fill the pockets of space each time any of the defenders evacuated his spot, especially Chilwell. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? This is what they need to do. Whenever Zakaria off the ball, is not taking part in the attack and someone else has moved up. So let's say Chilwell has moved up or Jorginho has moved up. He's got to be able to slot in. Football is all about that. It's not. This shouldn't be a surprise. Like if you look at Arsenal, the way they move, honestly speaking, have a look at Arsenal when they move. Someone like Xhaka, if he moves forward, someone else comes into Xhaka's position. Do you know what I mean? So, and this type of rotation keeps happening all the time. If Thomas Partey moves up, then you'll see Xhaka go behind him. And it continues being like that. Like if Bukayo Saka sort of comes in, then you'll see someone else taking that position. And they continuously keep doing that. And that's how it's meant to be. This isn't a new phenomenon. Like this is how football is meant to be played. And this is what sometimes I see Chelsea, and maybe it will take time. It will take time under the new management. We've just changed over. And I'm pretty sure someone like Graham Potter will be all over it. But this is where sometimes I feel like with Chelsea, some of the players, someone will bomb up. Let's say Kovacic will bomb up, but then no one covers for Kovacic behind him. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no collaboration. Chilwell will bomb up and you won't see anyone sort of tucking in and making sure that spot is being covered. This is how it's meant to be. If Chilwell goes up, then you need maybe a CB to cover that way. And then the other CB comes and slots in the first CB spot. Then you maybe need the right back to come and slot in and to ensure that backline is covered, and so on and so forth. It's meant to be a shifting and turning all the time. So it's good that Denis Zakaria is switched on for that. J5 and cover for Arsenal. I would like to see him play against a tougher opponent before throwing him for an Arsenal team the way they are playing at the moment. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It might be a challenge. It might be a challenge a bit too early, but at the same time, maybe he's the profile that we need in the middle to combat Arsenal. But yeah, perhaps it's going to be Jorginho and Kovacic. I just hope that they're not outrun, man. I just hope they're not overtaken in the middle. You saw what Brighton did to us, man. I know it wasn't Jorginho and Kovacic against Brighton; it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic. But Arsenal are a lot better than Brighton, so we better be ready. Arsenal has a game tonight, so could that help us for Sunday because we have an extra day to rest? They're going to rest everyone, man. It's a dead rubber for them as well. They've qualified for the next round in Europa, so and they've been playing their second string team anyway in the Europa, so they'll be well rested. I mean, I want to ask you guys: Are you guys a bit? Are you guys a bit sort of surprised the fact that how many first teamers we started against Zagreb? Like, I just hope that come the match against Arsenal, that none of these conversations about fatigue comes in, because we had the opportunity to bench a lot of players and play players that haven't had enough minutes, and potentially have a lot of players fully fit and fully energized for the Arsenal game. Because you best believe Arsenal are not gonna. I would highly doubt if Arsenal play with too many first team players in their Europa League match, whoever they're playing. I can't remember. Um, I'm pretty sure a lot of them will be rested for the big match during the weekend. I'm just a bit surprised that we used quite a lot of our players, and I hope that they don't use this fatigue word come Sunday. Oh, we were fatigued because we played against Zagreb. I hope they don't use that, because you had the opportunity to rest. They have a miss. Arteta plays like 6 starters in Europa. Look, whatever the case, man. You best believe they'll be ready for us. Sunday, they'll be ready for us. There's a win against Arsenal will be morale booster. I pray we win. I feel like we have to win, man. I really do. I feel like we have to win. There's no two ways about it. We've had a draw. We've had 2 draws and then a loss. We got to win, man. We got to win. We had a draw against Brentford, draw against Man United, a loss against Brighton. 2 more games before the World Cup starts. We've got to win this. And this is or else we're going to keep sliding down the table. If we want to have any chance of making top 4, we've got to do this. We have to do this. Let's talk a little bit about Arsenal now. This isn't the preview. Obviously, we'll do the preview down the track. But what is the expectation, live chat? Nearly 120 of you guys are live right now. Only 30 likes. Can we push the likes, ladies and gentlemen, to 100? If you're enjoying this conversation, if you're enjoying this discussion, you're enjoying this interaction, I'm going to try and pull out as many comments as I can from the live chat. Smash the like button, number 1. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. I want to ask each and every one of you guys, what is the expectation against Arsenal? What do you want to do? What do you feel is potentially a must? For me, I don't think draw's a good enough result at home. And I completely respect Arsenal. I really do. They're playing some amazing football. They're top of the table. I mean, I get it. They're supreme at the moment. But this is Chelsea Football Club, man. This is at Stamford Bridge. These guys have pumped us 4-0 away from home. It's time we get some sort of revenge, man. It's time some of our players stand up. But the issue is we're highly disadvantaged. Ben Chilwell is now gone. I mean, 2 seasons in a row now, ladies and gentlemen. Reece James and Ben Chilwell out, gone, injured for a long time as well. Reece James potentially post-World Cup. I still don't think it will be immediate. There will be a bit of a moment of, finding that pace back into the team. It will be eased into the team. Ben Chilwell, I don't know. That looked pretty bad from Ben Chilwell. He could potentially be gone for a lengthy period of time. Luckily, the World Cup is here, so that's a bit of blessing in disguise, I suppose. But yeah, no Ben Chilwell, obviously no Reece James. Against Arsenal, we're potentially going to have to use Aspilicueta on the right side, and we're going to have to use. I think we're going to play a back three, aren't we? I feel like against Arsenal, we'll probably play a back three. It's going to be Koulibaly. Hopefully, Koulibaly's fit. That's the first thing. It's going to be Koulibaly. It's going to be Silva in the middle. It's going to be Chalobah, and then it's going to be Aspilicueta in the right wing back, and it's going to be Cucurella in the left wing back. I feel like that's probably how we're going to shape up against Arsenal, and we're probably also going to have potentially Denis Zakaria in the middle with maybe Jorginho, Kovacic. Who knows? Maybe Jorginho, Kovacic, and Denis Zakaria in the middle. And then up front, you'll potentially have Aubameyang and Sterling maybe. Maybe instead of Kovacic, there might be Mason Mount. But I feel like it will be a back three with the wing backs. That's probably how we're going to set up against Arsenal. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, we couldn't beat Arsenal at the worst. No way we're beating them. Years past, we would have parked the bus and catch them on counter. But when was the last time we scored on a counter? Yeah. I wouldn't mind us playing on the counter, honestly. I really wouldn't mind us playing on the counter against Arsenal. You'd probably think they'd have most of the ball. And then, yeah, but do we have the players to counter? That's the other thing. Do we actually have the players to counter? Aspi versus Martinelli is a crime. Oh my God. Martinelli has scared the living daylights off some of the better fullbacks, let alone Aspilicueta. Like, I still remember Martinelli ripped a new one on Wesley Fofana when they played Leicester. Martinelli was all over Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. It's yeah, man, it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long day at the office. But I can't see who else we're gonna use on that right side. I really can't. It should be a win, but man, this Chelsea team does not give confidence at all. We have started leaking goals within 10 minutes, so don't know, man. Yeah, last couple of games, it's been a bit uncharacteristic, hasn't it? It's been a bit strange. We've started slow. Against Brighton, oh man. Brighton started with a absolute on fire. Rattled us early on. And Silva was very, very uncharacteristic. And then against Zagreb as well, it just looked like we weren't even in the game in the first 15 minutes. We were just sort of zombies, just, walking around. And Zagreb, there was no penetration in their attack. They just whipped in a cross, and we allowed them. We allowed them for an easy goal. But luckily, we woke up a little bit after that. I don't think it was still the most perfect performance against Zagreb, but we controlled the match. Against Arsenal, if we fall asleep even for 30 seconds, I'm telling you right now, they're going to score. They're going to score. Prabuddha, Ms. Saka has returned to training. Martinelli and Aspi and Saka versus Cucurella. I'm not confident they will need cover. This makes me say Zakaria must start to provide that cover. This is what I'm sort of thinking. Maybe Zakaria probably needs to play. I mean, it's amazing how football, it's crazy, right? Like literally a game ago, we weren't even talking about Zakaria, and now all of a sudden Zakaria needs to start against Arsenal Football Club because of his skill set that is very much needed to cover for some of our players. But it's not just Martinelli and Saka. Like Odegaard is someone that needs to be very much respected. Obviously, someone like Gabriel Jesus, who's going to be a bit of a menace. And even some players like Xhaka and Partey, you've got to look out for them. Xhaka will make those darting runs from midfield into the box. And Thomas Partey can definitely pop off from range like he did against Spurs. Ladies and gentlemen, over 150 people live right now. Smash the like button. Would love to see 100 likes during the stream. We're about 57 away, so if we can manage to get that, that would be much appreciated. We've got more than enough people to do that. Hope you guys are enjoying this conversation and discussion about Denis Zakaria and Arsenal being the next in line. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Chelsea in the Champions League and Chelsea in the Premier League are two different teams. It's so true. It's so true. It's crazy how it's like that. We seem so vulnerable in the Premier League. It feels like teams, as soon as they press, show some form of physicality and strings a few passes, it seems like that's enough for us to crumble. Whereas in the Champions League, I don't know, maybe the tempo of the game, maybe the speed of the game kind of suits us. That's probably why we've been doing all right. But still, I don't want to take anything away. I mean, sensational comeback in the Champions League, ladies and gentlemen, honestly. After being bottom of the table after the first two games, losing the first one and then drawing the next one, and then from there, flawless wins, 4 wins, and going straight to the top of the table. Fantastic feat. Don't want to take nothing away from them. We need to watch out for Partey long shots. Yeah, Partey is definitely capable of doing that, but at the same time, Thomas Partey will defensively look after them as well. So we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan in regards to how we are going to open up Arsenal Football Club. How are we going to hurt them? The way Man United hurt them was in the counter. Are we going to play counter-attacking football? But Man United have players like Rashford and you know, Bruno Fernandes. That particular game made some sensational passes. Sancho can be effective as well at times. They've got some, you know, pacey players. They've got other players like Eriksen, who's very, very good on the ball with his passing abilities. So can we counter, and can we be clinical in the counter? That's the most important part. The disbelief people have in this team is shocking. I don't care what anyone says. We have the quality to compete with Arsenal no matter who's injured. I mean, look, it's not about the disbelief. It's more about being realistic. You look at who's available on that right side against Martinelli. It's Azpilicueta. And that's already a massive disadvantage. Yeah, like back three, our midfield, who's going to feature there? I mean, when you have a distinct weakness on the right side, it can trickle over. It does have domino effect. As I keep saying, all of these things have a domino effect. Just because you may have a weakness on the right side, the weakness is not just only going to linger around there. You will need to compensate for that. As soon as you start compensating for one area, other areas get compromised. Arash, thank you so much for the super chat. 99% of my friends are Arsenal fans. Need this win. Come on. Just for, I suppose, bands purposes. You know what I mean? Banter purposes as well. Like not just obviously for the pride, but to be able to banter the opposition fans. We have players that can do that, though. I don't get it. Okay, maybe they haven't been on form recently, but that doesn't take away the talent and quality in the players. Yeah, I mean, we've got players. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say we don't have players. It's not a complete end of discussion that we're no chance against Arsenal. No, of course we are chance, man. It's not going to surprise me if we beat them at Stamford Bridge. That shouldn't surprise anyone. But you look at our setup, you look at where we are in terms of confidence level, you look at some of the injuries that we have to key personnel, And then you look at their team, it's more just talking from a realistic point of view. That's why I think people are a bit concerned. When I said team wasn't ready, everyone laughed at me. No one is consistent. It justifies the disbelief. As much as I've watched Arsenal, they create chances mostly from wings. If we pocket their wingers, we may have a chance. I love this. I love this. I love this, Prabuddha. If we pocket their wingers, who is going to pocket Martinelli? Who's pocketing Martinelli? Who's pocketing Saka? Bukayo Saka is a rising superstar. I'm telling you right now. Saka is a sensational player. And equally, Martinelli. I honestly don't think there is a better left-sided winger in the Premier League than Martinelli at the moment. Gabriel Martinelli is superb. And Saka, not only he's a very exciting winger from the right side, he's a creator as well, man. Like Bukayo Saka he's quite capable of finding those key passes, man. It's gonna be a mammoth task to be able to pocket them. I hope we can. I really hope we can. We need to, but it ain't gonna be easy. Connor start, I reckon. I think it's probably going to be Mason Mount. And I don't think, I can't picture how both Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount plays. I know they did that against Brighton. I think we did that. But I can't see how, for this particular match, both Conor Gallagher and Mount play together. I mean, potentially they could. Odegaard defo can't be allowed space. Yeah, the way he manipulates with the ball definitely cannot be allowed with any space. Ladies and gentlemen, over 165 people live right now. We are only 46 likes away from 100. It seems like a proper struggle to get to 100 today. If we can smash the like button, as I keep saying, if you're enjoying the conversation, you're enjoying this discussion, let's bump those likes up to 100. The likes that's what's going to get the growth of this channel. And if you really enjoy the channel and you want to see it grow, then smash the like button. Let's try and get to 100 for the stream whilst we're live. Arsenal are probably going to start the same team against us as they did against Forest. Yeah, they probably will. You can tell what they're going to do. It's going to be Gabriel Jesus up front, Martinelli on the left side, our right side, Saka on the left side, Odegaard just behind them. In the middle, you're going to see Xhaka and Thomas Partey. And then in defense, you're probably going to see Saliba, William Saliba, and you're going to see Magalhaes. Potentially going to see Kirantini maybe, or maybe Tomiyasu. I don't know whether Zinchenko's back, and then obviously Ben White on the right side, and then Ramsdale. Like, you know what their lineup is going to be. You really do know what their lineup is going to be. This is so embarrassing from you, Miz. The way you talk is as if Arsenal are better than us. This is so embarrassing from you, Miz. The way you talk is as if Arsenal are better than us. I'll let the live chat decide this comment. Over 170 of you guys are live. Let me know if you actually thought anything that I said was embarrassing, as Robin Flakes is saying. Let me know in the live chat if I'm being embarrassing, and if I'm talking as if Arsenal are better than us. Arsenal are better than us at the moment. Like, that's not some sort of a fib. That's not a lie. That is fact. Arsenal are on top of the Premier League table. Do you know what I mean? There's no need to have ego here. There's no need to be, ashamed of that. We can still beat them, but they are better than us at the moment. That's why they're top of the table, and that's why we're nowhere near them. We're about 10 points away from them? Uncle Sharma, good to see you, my man. Inter Milan fan. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Inter Milan content, please go and subscribe to Uncle Sharma. I've got a sneaky feeling we will get an Inter versus Chelsea round of 16 spicy garam masala. I love it. Rombak. I wouldn't mind that one bit. It will be an electrifying tie, but I have to be honest. My preference would be Club Brugge or Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt. But yeah. Miz, what are your thoughts about the City game? Look, one game at a time. Let's get through the Arsenal, then we'll think about the City game. It's going to be difficult. I'm pretty sure City will go for the cup. They won't go easy. Yeah. No, Miz, you're realistic, and for a fact, they are better. Yeah, it's just fact, man. You're just being realistic, Miz. Exactly. Do you know what? This is why sometimes I feel like some people, they don't want you to be real. They want you to be some sort of a fake. It's strange. Like they want you to hide your true feelings. They want you to just keep hyping and vibing. They I don't know what they want. Like as you know, earlier on in the watch along for the Champions League game, when I was upset about seeing Ben Chilwell injured as well, and then looked like maybe Zakaria was injured, and obviously Koulibaly had a bit of a knock, and me showing my frustration, me showing my sadness towards all of these injuries. There's a couple of people coming out and saying, "Miz, you're overreacting," and I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to? How do you want me to react when one of our players get injured? Like, celebrate. Why praise Arsenal when they haven't won a thing? Why praise Arsenal?" Here's another dude just come out of nowhere in this live chat and just said, "Why praise Arsenal when they haven't won a thing?" It's not even about praising. It's about stating facts. And praising what? Just in regards to Martinelli, in regards to Saka, in regards to Gabriel Jesus, in regards to their team. They're a good team. And do you think that's praise? Are you that easily broken? Are you that easily affected? Accept the reality, accept the truth. It's not anything about praise. It's just stating facts. I'm not going out of my way to praise them. They're playing some really good football. Now, if you think that's a praise and you don't think we should do that, well, that's I don't get this sort of mentality, man. I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. Yeah, Arsenal is top of the league, but a little believe in your team wouldn't hurt. We do believe. We do believe. We are believing. We're a chance. It's going to be tough. We're a chance. I don't know where you're thinking that no one here doesn't believe. We believe, but it's going to be difficult. And maybe it may not even happen. That is also a possibility. I have a feeling it will be classic Chelsea versus Liverpool Champions League game. That way we get our revenge for one of them for the final last season. Some people are still stuck on the UCL win 2 seasons ago. Just say Chelsea is rubbish then. Some people are weird. Means the GOAT. Dude, they are playing fantastic this season. I'm a Chelsea fan. I hate them, but they are fabulous this season. I'm sad to say while saying this, the truth. Yeah, it's the truth. R16 will be Chelsea versus Liverpool. I don't know why, but I have a feeling troubleism is killing my people. Exactly, man. It's too much of this troubleism where people have lost sight of just talking normal truth. Do you know what I mean? We all have to accept the truth. Arsenal are better than us. Currently, we need to step up our game. Dude, they're playing fantastic this season. I'm a Chelsea fan. I hate them, but they're fabulous this season. I'm sad while saying this. Yeah, same. We're still a Champions League team. Ain't a Premier League team yet. Miz already said, I won't be surprised if Chelsea win this week. So why are they guys talking? Exactly, Shubro. Like, I don't understand. It's like they only hear selective words. They only hear selective words. They'll cut out everything else. I've repeatedly said, I will not be surprised if we win, because we're Chelsea Football Club. At Stamford Bridge, we can definitely beat them. If we play to our strengths and we have a very good game, we can beat them. There's no doubt about that. But they've got some artilleries, they've got some weapons that we've got to be very careful of. You understand why some of us are a little bit nervous. We are just coming back in the Premier League of a thrashing from Brighton 4-1. Do you understand why some of us are a little bit nervous? Or is that a bit too over your head? Big up, Miz. You're one of the goats of the Chelsea content creators in the YouTube scene. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. I'm not sure about being a goat, but I do appreciate that comment. 20 more likes, ladies and gentlemen. If we get 20 more likes, we'll reach 100 before we end the stream. Let's do that. Saka was subbed off, injured maybe. Let's see. I hope it'll be good if we can have one of their players not be around. Even a draw will hurt them. I don't care about whether a draw will hurt them. I want to win, man. I want to win. I wouldn't be happy with a draw. I want to go out there and beat them. I know it ain't going to be easy, but I want to beat them. Because I think we don't have wing backs. Back three might not work. So a back four with Zakaria can be defensively stable, though. Look, yeah, I mean, we could potentially go back four. Azpilicueta right back, Cucurella left back, potentially Silva Chalobah maybe in the middle, maybe Koulibaly Silva. I think it's probably going to be Silva Chalobah. Chalobah has been playing really well. You just continue him on. And then obviously Zakaria in the midfield, along with maybe Jorginho and perhaps even Kovacic as well. And you have a midfield four, you know what I mean? Your midfield diamond maybe with Mason Mount in there. You have Zakaria and Kovacic as the eights. You got Jorginho as the deep player, and you got Mason Mount up front. And then you play with the two forward players, potentially Sterling and Aubameyang. So it could turn out to be like that. Yes, Miz is one of the very best Chelsea content creators. Much appreciated, Trooper, man. Much appreciated. I think we just need to finish this season, refresh the squad in January and in summer. I don't see getting Champions League. We don't have a right winger. We always play a player out of position on the right. Yeah, I mean, we've seen recently Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing in that right side. Yeah, we definitely need to address these positions in January. We definitely need a right-sided fullback, wing-back, whatever you want to call it. We need that. I don't know whether we have anyone coming from the academy who can do a madness for us. It'll be interesting to see what player that we end up getting for on that side with all the recruitments that we've done off field. You know, head of recruitment, director of recruitment, scouts, and all that. I wonder what type of player we're going to be able to bring on that right side. So I'm very keen to see. I think that's a spot which is 100% essential come the January window. Chelsea last 3 games are Arsenal, City, and then Newcastle before we stop for World Cup. How many points do you think Chelsea get from 3 matches, Miz? Ooh. Newcastle's tough as well, man. Newcastle's going to be tough. I'd like to think with the 2 matches we'll get 4 points. We'll get a win and a draw. I would love 2 wins. 6 points would be sensational. Can we get a win against City in the Cup? Really depends on how City what type of team they want to put out. We're a good cup team. Like generally, we're a very, very good cup team. So let's see, man. Let's see. Maybe City will be very, very interested to win a cup as well. So yeah. But yeah, 4 out of 6 points. I think that might be the way to go. Right now, Arsenal is better than Chelsea because Arsenal have great team and good team spirit. That's why I condemned Chelsea sacking TT earlier this season. Look, I mean, we got to just move on from Thomas Tuchel. As much as I think that was premature, we just need to move on from it, man. Yeah, 4 out of 6 for me as well. Stop comparing Chelsea to City. No one can play like them. It's different. Haaland might be back for us. Chelsea has City's number usually. Really? I'm pretty certain City beat us twice last season. I'm pretty certain they beat us twice. Yeah, we beat them, 3 in a row with Thomas Tuchel, but then they beat us as well 2 in a row. And prior to that, prior to Thomas Tuchel, they were beating us royally. So I'm not really sure whether we have their number, to be honest. Ladies and gentlemen, only 4 more likes before 100, but we're going to wrap things up now. Hope you guys have enjoyed this conversation. Smash the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well to keep in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for a news show later, UK time, maybe halftime when all the Europa League games are happening. To wrap up the day's Chelsea news, if there's any transfer related news as well, we'll cover that. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Until next time, see ya.